Hi, guys. Welcome to AMP Rapid Fire. 10 questions, real mindset under pressure. I'm Carl Sasson. Talent might open the door, but mindset determines how long you stay in a room. This is Asasyn Mental Performance, where we build athletes who become incredible human beings. Welcome to Rapid Fire. Eventually, the jersey comes off, but the mindset stays forever. Our guest today is George Smith. George and I made contact through LinkedIn and had some valuable discussions, and it's really been good to communicate with him. So, George, when you hear the phrase mental performance, what does that mean to you?
Being mentally prepared you have to master your basics, be prepared, and then you can work on your skills. And being prepared both cognitively or mentally, and also bring yourself physiologically ready to play, ready for the moment. To block out all distractions and just perform. You're in the game mentally. Like they say, goaltending is 85% mental. I think that's uh, true with almost anything that you do. You have to be mentally prepared before you physically execute.
Excellent. That's a great answer. Preparation is key. So, why don't you give me the short version of your story? What path led you to where you are today, George?
My grandfather was a minor league manager and player, and my dad also was a businessman. He was on the ground floor of Took Products, and he was kind of my mentor. I had a lot of coaching as I was a athlete. I started skating in my backyard when I was 3, 4 years old, and by the time I was 6, I started playing organized hockey. I remember the first time stepping on the ice, I thought I had to spin my wheels, and I learned to glide and stride. That was it. To be calm under pressure and all types of things. When I was about 10 years old, uh, I was playing. I had an issue with my foot, and so they put me in the nets, and I just naturally took to it because I had a baseball background because of my fathers and uncles. That I was fielding ground balls and stuff when I was like 5, 6 years old. So I had that instilled in me, and I just took to it right away. Then the all-star team, the travel team, because when I was a kid, we played travel and house league, especially in the younger age groups. And so the guy's coach says, your son's a natural goaltender and he's not that great of a skater. So next thing, my dad had me in front of the garage, opened the garage door so we wouldn't have to chase the balls all down the street. He started firing them at me. Started playing goaltending in the house league and then the All Stars, and I was the first string goalie on the Squirt All Star team. I just kept on going through Pee Wees and Bantams. Then each year I've kept on learning how to play the position. I got up towards junior high and stuff, and had a little issues with my academic attitude, I guess you could call it. I got sent over to Canada. I lived at my grandmother's house in Longsu, Ontario. I'm from right on the North New York Canadian border. You
Uh-huh.
could see Canada from my mother's house now, so that was that close. I was all about sports, and I didn't really care about academics. I started playing midget hockey in Longsu, Ontario for Cornwall Township. I would practice with the junior B team because I was a good goaltender. The men's would come over and pick me up to play adult hockey. So I played hockey every time. I lived and breathed hockey. Again, when I was 16, I tried out for a junior A team. Uh, I didn't make the team. They said that I have potential, but they got other goaltenders that were interested in. So I went back to my hometown, Messina, New York, and I came back as a sophomore. I had 3 years as an all-state goaltender, first team all-state goaltender, and we were three-time state champions. I was already on a successful career, but I still wasn't doing well. I was getting more. I was maturing, and then my senior year, my dad took the job in Montreal with Took, and I was left by myself. So that was kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, a distraction or just a lost focus. So I actually didn't have any opportunities to play, but I ended up playing junior hockey in Framingham, Massachusetts. I played there for a year. I had a good year. It was a great experience. A lot of good hockey players in that Boston area. After that was over, I went back to my dad's store thinking that I was going to spend the rest of my life, working at the sporting goods store.
Right.
One time the coach came in and he said, said, I scouted you in high school. He was formerly at Cortland College, and then he had a job in North Country Community, a junior college. He said, "Well, how would you like to play?" And I asked him why he didn't recruit me. I came to your school. You weren't in school that day. I got my GED. Got enrolled in North Country Community College, and I was an All-American JUCO goalie. Then the next year, I transferred to Bowling Green. I was a walk-on, and I made the team and
Wow.
did that for 2 seasons. I kept trying out for teams, ended up playing in senior A leagues, and I played what they call semi-pro hockey. Is much later, I was a personal trainer, studying for exercise science. Then I really got interested in sports psychology, and I just attained my master's degree in that, and here I am today. So,
Wow. That's just
yeah,
an absolute incredible journey, George. And
thank you.
here you are today now, and here we are today together. So
Yes.
now we get to the fun part. This is the AMP rapid fire 10 questions, 10 minutes.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. Who are you beyond what you do?
I'm a father. My children are grown, and I moved back to Geneva, New York, kind of in Carl's backyard. So I just found out today he was originally from Buffalo. Especially my daughter, the father daughter thing, and I'm blessed to have her as my daughter, and we do things together. In my recovery from alcohol and drugs and emotional burnout, got into Christianity, and I studied Stoicism and all types of philosophies. So I became a licensed minister, and I do Bible studies and sermons. So that a lot of performing under the pressure it still applies to what I do today.
Awesome.
Also, I like to swim, and just for non-weight bearing, and it's just also a spiritual type of thing when you're in the water floating. So I really enjoy the things I do outside of my studies.
Excellent. We both share recovery from alcoholism.
Yes,
It's a difficult
a
challenge.
comment.
We're both grateful to be
Yeah.
battling the opportunity. So let me ask you this: when pressure's the highest, what do you rely upon mentally?
First thing I do is to block things out. Then I do verbal cues for myself, like relax,
Mhm.
stay focused. Then when I was playing hockey, I would like if they scored a goal on me, I would just scrape my water, tap my pads, hit the post, and refocus. And I really try not to let it. I try to stay calm, to have a calm demeanor. I'm a kind of low key guy, so that helps me.
Absolutely. You got a physical, verbal, and mental reset. Good.
Yes.
So where does real confidence come from?
That's a good question. And confidence is a mastery of experience that are the most powerful, that you're already prepared, like I talked about before. And it's followed by vicarious modeling, that you're using focus and whatever, that you're prepared for when the stuff is happening for you. And also, just how when you come into the rink, I'm aware of the crowd, but when I'm playing, I know I'm focused on that little black object. I follow it wherever it goes. Now, when I do my ministry stuff, that's hard because you're in front of people. So what I even do then is like just close my eyes, and I just start staying within myself. That's I think that's the best thing, is we have to stay within ourselves. And then I just start saying things. And the more times I do that, I have confidence now. I try not to have anything rattle me. I try to stay composed under pressure.
Excellent. Confidence comes from within.
Mhm.
So what mental preparation habit helped you perform better?
When I was young, I would wait till the last minute to get dressed, but I learned to get to the rink early and get dressed. I would even just stay with like without my arm pads, but I would put my skates on and do that. I would try to do some dynamic things to get my heart rate up. And even
Mhm.
before I got to the locker room, I would maybe take a quick run around the rink or do stretches out in the parking lot. And then when I got in the building, I'd like to walk around and look into the stands, just get a feel, like try to get ready like it's present in the moment again where I am. So that's how I prepared. And the night before, and I started doing this in high school, I would take a puck before I went to bed. I'd look at the puck, and then I would just say easy, stuff like that. And I just think that's important to just be prepared.
Excellent. Great
Yeah.
answers. So
Thank you.
what moment tested your mindset the most in your life?
In my life, I've had a lot of trials and tribulations at George Stewart Smith, like through the alcoholism and the family things. That was very real and very testing. My sophomore year, and I lost the game against the rival. And those were tough. experiences, accepting defeat, and then how you like you blame yourself. So I like just bound, and then a lot of times, like they say, time heals wounds. The more times you experience that, and then sometimes like you have to be the man. So I guess character would be the most important part. And I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life. Sort of my personality's that way. Yeah, it's emotional, but also like my mom says, you're cussing, you're melancholy. So I was always, as a kid, I was always kind of like that.
What does leadership look like when things go wrong?
Chaos. First of all, I mean, the first word I come is like, you're only is like the master link that
Uh,
has to hold everything together. And I think leadership is for that they have to feel like they can relate to you is the way I feel about it. And if you first of all, you have to be under control. And leadership comes from both the coach and the captains and the better athletes. So that you have to first of all, how you present yourself. And then if you're in chaos and then like you can't be finger pointing at people, you have to build their confidence. You can't undermine their confidence and you can't beat them down. You got to build them up. Is I think that's the biggest thing is leadership.
yep,
So,
I agree with that. What do young athletes misunderstand most about success?
I'll go by my own experience. I had want to live up to my father's expectations, and but also it's also inside of yourself. You think that you have to be perfect, and I think perfectionism can stop you from actually being relaxed and doing the things you need to do. So I think a lot of times and like not really understanding what's going on. Cause like when I was 6, 10 years old, like I said, when I learned to skate all like I really didn't understand what I was supposed to do. After you learn and become more confident, I think that's important.
Good. Excellent. I love what you said about setting that bar for perfection.
Yeah.
So, what separates elite performers mentally from the average athlete?
The first word that comes to mind is discipline, able to separate themselves from adversity in that like in the appraisal thing when you see thing as a threat or a challenge. I think the lead athlete sees it as a challenge and
Yes.
they're up to the moment and they want to be there. And
Mm.
I think if you have a negative mindset or this is debilitate you kind of like freeze up and you can't let your hands go and you can't get into what I call being in the zone, the optimal performance time.
Oh, that's a great point. Let me ask you this. Finish this sentence. Someone has a killer mindset when they,
Prepare, focus, and follow through. I think a lot of things important. Like a lot of people, I know a lot of very intelligent people are great at starting things, but they don't follow through. So I guess the word would be follow through. You got to stick to it. This is like I think that's one trait that I got from my dad, and then it's carried me through the highs and lows of my life. Is I want to come back and I want to perform.
excellent answer. Final question. If a young athlete's listening today and is struggling with confidence, pressure, or mistakes, what advice would you give them, George?
First thing that the sun will come up tomorrow and don't beat yourself up for every mistake you make. Just kind of try to relax. And then if you, and to find what works for you, kind of like when you hear things and when you're coach, you got to kind of get to know yourself, but it's hard to do. Like I was talking about myself, even learning it. I think you just got to go there, be ready and understand that mistakes are going to happen, but as long as it's the progression that you're gonna improve. Like I used to ask my coach, "How am I doing, coach?" He says, "You are where you're supposed to be." That you have to tell yourself, "I've got ability. I just need to develop it." That would be my best advice for kids.
That's awesome. George, thank you so much. I'll just do a few closing notes here. So, again, George Smith, thank you so much for your time. Assassin Mental Performance, discipline today, dominance tomorrow. If this conversation helped you think differently about mental performance, share it with an athlete who needs to hear it and follow Assassin Mental Performance for more information.